Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I trust you're all doing very well. Please do well to subscribe if you haven't yet, and to those who have already subscribed, I'd like to say thank you so much for supporting this channel. And recording this video made me really emotional. Initially, when I received the email, I had to call the lady in question to find out if indeed this story was true. And I was so shocked when we called her and she said the story was indeed true. So let's go straight to the story. It says, my fiancé is a ghost, but I am still in love with him. Usually when I'm going to town, I order for Uber, or when I'm going to work, I order for Uber. So on this fateful day when I ordered for Uber, I was pretty surprised to see that the driver was a female. Even though I have heard of female Uber drivers, I have never had the opportunity to be driven by one. So I was shocked and also very happy to see that I was going to be chauffeured or be driven by a female driver. And usually when I order for Uber, I sit at the back. But on this particular day, I decided to sit by the driver. So we quickly got into a conversation. We talked about everything from politics to religion to women to virtually everything. From our conversation, I learned that this lady was from Namibia and she came to my country for greener pastures. According to her, she came to the country with her brother and her brother's friend. And then she, at the time of meeting her, she said she was in my country for 6 months. When I got to my destination, she asked if she could save my number because she didn't have any friends and she liked to hang out or go out with me when she was free. I agreed because why not? I was happy to see a female Uber driver and a woman who was trying to make ends meet. A week later, she contacted me and told me that she was free and would like to go out. So I went out with this lady to a public place. We ate, we drank, we danced. And she also came with her brother and her brother's friend. It was really such a good time. 2 weeks later, her brother called to tell me that he liked me and would like to start a relationship with me. At the time, I was not dating, I was not in any relationship, so I decided to give it a try. And in fact, this gentleman really treated me so well. He was such a perfect gentleman. He gave me everything that I ever wanted. He treated me like an egg. He respected me. He gave me virtually everything. My peace of mind, my mental health was in check. 6 months into our relationship, he told me that he liked to take the relationship to the next level, so I should let my parents know about it. I was really happy. So I told my parents about it, and then he also came to be introduced officially to my parents. So 2 months after the proposal, he came to do knock-in, and he came to do the knock-in with his sister, his friend, and then 2 elderly people whom he told me was his landlord and the landlord's wife. Now after the knock-in was done, I was really happy that I was officially or almost officially off the market. So I posted the pictures on TikTok. 2 days after posting the pictures on TikTok, about 3 ladies came into my DM and was asking me questions about who this gentleman is to me and how I got to know him. I didn't understand what they were talking about. So initially I decided to ignore them because I didn't know why they were asking me such questions. But the questions kept coming. And then a lot more people came to my DM to ask almost the same questions. When I was dating this guy, he told me that he was from Namibia and his parents were still living in Namibia. He showed me pictures of his siblings, showed me pictures of his friends, and even showed me pictures of his parents, and then even showed me pictures of his old schoolmates. And then when the relationship, initially he would call his people and talk to them, but he would tell me that I could not speak with them yet because his parents could not speak English, so communication was a barrier. So I never got to speak with his parents because, like he said, his parents could not speak English. But I was always in contact with his sister and this other friend that I got introduced to. So when the people in my DM keep asking so many questions, this time around I decided to pay attention to why they were asking me these questions. Initially, I thought this guy was married and was just playing games with me. So there was this particular lady who kept asking so many questions and wanted to know who this man was. So I eventually told her that the man in question was my fiancé, and then we're about to get married. And that was when he told me that this gentleman had died together with his sister and another friend when they were going for a party. So this lady promised to send me pictures of where they were buried or their grave. 3 days later, she sent me the pictures. At this point, I was terrified. I was literally shaking. Well, I asked her to do me another favor. I asked her to send me pictures of his parents, since I saw, or he showed me pictures of his parents, and I was shocked to the core when she sent me the pictures, and they were the same pictures that he showed me of his mama and his papa, or basically his parents. All this while, I have not told him or asked him anything about it, but I told my mom and my dad about it, and they told me to wait because they like to do their own research. So after a week, I called him and I told him that I'd like to visit. He said, okay. I went to visit him and everything was okay. I asked about his parents and he said his parents were fine. I asked if I could speak with them, and he called them again. But this time around, I just said hi since I could not speak their native language. So after talking to our elders, my elders, we have decided to ask him about it. So I called him in the presence of my mom and my dad and 2 other elders that came to visit, and he said in the call, so I have gathered enough courage to ask him what I have discovered, and he told me that he was in a meeting and will get back to me. It has been 3 good weeks now and I have not heard from him. I called his phones and they were all switched off. I called his sister's phone and it was equally switched off. I called his friend's phone and that was equally switched off. Little backstory: I recently got a job in another region, which means that I am not living in the same region with him. So when the phones were not going through, I could not immediately go to his house to check on him. After 3 weeks of not hearing from him, I came back to the capital and I went to his house with my mom and dad. When we got there, the gatekeeper of the apartment told us that he had moved out of the place about 3 weeks ago. I didn't know what to expect, but I asked if I could go and check the place myself. Lo and behold, when we checked the place was virtually empty. When we got into the apartment, everything was gone. From his TV to his bed to his fridge, everything was gone. I then asked the gatekeeper the reason he gave before leaving the place, because I knew his rent was not due. The gatekeeper told me that according to him, he was going to another place because he needed a bigger apartment because he was going to get married soon. Then at this moment, I knew what the ladies told me was true or could be true. Immediately we got back to my father's house, I became sick. I became so sick that I could not speak for days. Now I am so scared. I'm so afraid. The question is, what have I done to deserve this? Michael, why would you choose me? I'm a good person. You know, I've been hearing stories about ghosts going to other places to remarry. I hear this a lot on television and on radio, but I never believed that such things still exist until it happened to me. Why? Why did you choose me, Michael? What have I done? Don't I deserve happiness? It has been over 3 months now and his phones are still not going through. That of his sister and his friends' phones are equally not going through. I have come to a conclusion that I was engaged to a ghost. Now my family wants to go back to Namibia to find out if it is indeed true that this gentleman died and came to our country to marry me. Should we pursue the case, or I should just let it go and then move on with my life? So guys, like I said, when I received this email, it made me so emotional. Do you think this lady should just forget about this whole pursuing of the case? Or if she wanted closure, she should go back to Namibia and find out if this man and his siblings are indeed dead? What do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching this video, and please do not forget to subscribe. I really appreciate your time. Until I see you in the next video, it's bye for now.